Welcome back to JRC TV. This week we are focused on how to prepare for winter, which is a metaphor for the difficult times you're going to face in life. The very first thing we gotta focus on in this episode of JRC TV is the fact that if you're gonna prepare for winter, you have to get real. And what does that mean? You have to be willing to accept the fact that everyone on Earth is gonna face a winter. Now, depending on where you live on this planet, there's different intensities of winter. If you live up in the very north of Canada, your winter is bone-chilling cold. You can freeze to death if you stand outside. If you live in awesome places like Colorado or the Swiss Alps, you can go snowboarding during the winter. Or if you live in fancy places like Florida, you can lie on the beach and enjoy winter outside getting a tan. So metaphorically speaking, those are great examples of the different types of winters all of us will face mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually throughout our life, even financially. And in looking at that concept, the winter is nothing more than a challenging moment of our life. Winters for some people are the time in which people freeze to death. For other people, they're the time in which you go snowboarding, connect with family, and have the time of your life reconnecting and re-soaking up that family and life and energy and love. So depending on what you view winter as, the hardest time of your life or the most fun, most connected, most loving time of your life, everyone has a different perspective, but here's the truth. All of us will face winters at different intensities all throughout our lifetime. There will be moments when we have very light winters, very light, difficult times in our life. You can lay on the beach and enjoy yourself. There will also be moments in time when we have the harshest, longest, coldest, darkest winters of our lives. And this episode is on how do you prepare for all of those moments and have your plan ready, have yourself ready, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, so that what knocks other people apart and tears them down and causes them to freeze to death, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, you glide through with ease because you've been stockpiling emotionally, relationship-wise. You've been investing into that relationship emotional bank account. You've been investing financially to save and stockpile and be ready for a difficult financial time. You've been preparing emotionally. You've been preparing physically for any challenges that you might face throughout your life. So how do you do that? Well, first let's understand the seasons very quickly. First off, there's springtime. Springtime is the new beginning of things. When you plant seeds, when you start the birth of something, people can be in a springtime in their business, a springtime in their relationships, a springtime financially. They're just getting started in a new venture that's about to grow. Next is summertime. This is where you put in the hard work of summer. You protect that seed, you water the seed, you nurture the seed, you care for the seed, you ensure that the ground stays healthy, you ensure that no birds come and pick it off or nothing gets in its way and destroys that seed you've planted, that new birth of that new tree you're trying to create there. Now, once you make it through summer, if you really do your job and you do it well, and how much you plant in the springtime, it'll determine your harvest. How much you get to enjoy and reap the rewards of everything you've poured into it thus far. Now, the final season of the year is winter. And again, this is usually the renewal. This is usually the death of those crops where the soil gets hard and things get very cold and it kind of dries out the land and it prepares it for a new springtime, a new birth. In that metaphorical concept, those stages of life, the very first thing I'd ask is, where are you in the majors of your life? If you're unfamiliar with the majors, go grab a copy of our brand new book, Live It, Achieve Success by Living with Purpose. We identify in chapters 2 and 3 all the majors of life, or at least a good portion of them. Some examples of these would be your health, your emotional intelligence, your relationship, your intimate relationship, your family, and a few others as well that are very important to pay attention to. So based on those majors of life, what you want to do is figure out what season are you in, first off, in those major categories of life. Second, what is your plan to prepare for winter? Even if you're in a springtime in your relationship, how are you preparing for difficult times that might show up along the way? Even if you're in a summertime working your tail off financially, what is your savings plan to make sure you're prepared for a winter in case it hits at any time? You get the point of what I'm saying here. No matter what season you're in, what is your plan to ensure that if and when a winter hits, you are going to smoothly sail right through it? So, Make sure to grab a copy of today's worksheet. It has an outline of these major points of life. It has an outline of the 4 seasons, and it'll help you identify in every major category of life what season you're in and what is your plan to prepare and sail through that winter time. Have fun with it, and I look forward to seeing you next week for another episode of JRC TV. Till then, have an amazing week.